strategy between Pakistan and China and grand strategy of Pakistan and India. Pakistan on Kashmir issue and future of the new Asia.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar titled Strategic Competition in the 21st Century Asia. My name is Khalid Latif and I'm the advisor on international affairs at the Center of Pakistan and International Relations, COPAIR. Founded by the President Ms. Amna Malik, COPAIR is an Islamabad-based institution dedicated to the study of defense and security, regional and global affairs. It is a non-partisan think tank providing expert policy analysis, educational and professional development services. COPAIR as a think tank seeks to promote in-depth analysis of international affairs and one which thrives on the intersection of policy formulation and policy making. Our center reflects our dedication to promoting the understanding of global affairs in a world engulfed in complexity. I am very pleased to welcome all of you today. We have an amazing person as our guest speaker who will be providing an expert and unique perspective on strategic competition in the 21st century Asia. This webinar series is hosted by COPAIR and co-moderated by myself and Ms. Amna Malik, President of COPAIR. Strategic competition between China and the United States as two major political and economic powers, and alongside rapid military expansion in Southeast Asia, indicates the importance of the region in world politics. The region matters a great deal because it hosts multiple major nuclear powers, some of the world's largest and most powerful conventional militaries, 40% of the globe's population, and one of the highest volumes of trade. To unpack the range of competitive dynamics in Southern Asia,
Feroz Hassan Khan is a research professor in the Department of National Security Affairs at the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California. He talked about Pakistan's historic victory against India in the 1965 war. Pakistan is an important country in CPEC project. He also talked about Track 2 policy, national security policy, emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity and Pakistan foreign policy and Kashmir conflict.
It's truly an honor for me to speak on a subject on 21st century strategic competition and modernization efforts that Mrs. Malik, you are so close to this subject, and whatever we discuss, so I will sort of focus on that kind of a theme that we discussed. But you asked me to speak something about the context of 65 war to the subject that we are talking here today. So I'll begin with that, with that premise about what is the significance of 1965 war to Pakistan national security. And I'm sure, I mean, in Pakistan, you know, there's so much excellent debates going on. I'm sure people would fully understand that. But very kind of you to introduce me in relation to eating grass. And I would now begin by talking about what happened in 1965 in relation to Pakistan's nuclear history. In my view, it was around this time in 1965, the summer of 1965, when truly the thinking about the foundation about nuclear thinking in Pakistan actually began. In the summer of 1965. The famous quote of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto about eating grass and, you know, whether we go to, you know, if India builds a bomb, we will reciprocate, even if you have to eat grass or eat leaves or go hungry, was actually said in May 1965, you know, around the time, you know, there was crisis going on in Rann of Kutch and other areas.
General retired Khalid Lodhi asked question to Mr. Feroz Khan about great briefing and military and political leadership understanding the strategy and nuclear environment. He also highlights the Kashmir conflict between India and Pakistan.
And I could listen to you, sir. I'm so grateful. And secondly, probably you might not be knowing the real respect and reverence that we in the armed forces, especially people of my age, I'm from 50th Long Course, so people from special courses and you know, a little senior to me, a little junior to me, those who are struggling with the concepts of nuclear strategy and nuclear policies, how much they have learned from you. And at times we used to think that why such a great Pakistani brain is there in America. But then I think many of us thought that it is good for you to be there because you are in that enriching environment where you can accumulate more and then transfer more towards us. And I just hope and pray that this video can be played, and I will try my best to do that, can be played at NDU students and NDU faculty especially. And I will request Madam Amina to give me a copy of this video so that we can, I will make sure that it is run.
General retired Azad Durrani, senior defense analyst, asked about the grand strategy of Indian side which last 2 decades we saw in the security bloc of Iran, Afghanistan, and India. Economic, social societies, civil-military relations, but we discussed Kashmir, which became international humanitarian need.
We will continue to, do a few things, play hot and cold, but ultimately we know where the Pakistani vulnerability lies. It has positioned itself pretty well. You've talked about the strategic positioning. In the meantime, we've done better. Actually, it's not a formal alliance, but the security bloc, the one that actually conceptually exists, is there. We, the Iranians, ultimately also Afghans, Chinese, even the Russians and the Turks. So that's a very powerful bloc. We do belong to a particular alignment, not a formal one, which they know is not going to be easy to interfere with. Although on the other side also, United States, India, Japan, and Australia have some sort of an understanding with each other. On the nuclear front, you said enough, but you also know, I suppose you mentioned it, or you have implied it, it has its limitations. It cannot be, it's not a panacea for all else. It can be, you could have that, all the arsenal standing by and the countries can collapse. The vulnerability that they have identified is that wait for some time, Pakistan is going to collapse under its own weight. I used to differ with it till about 10 years ago. And I said, no, we are going to put our house together. We are an evolving society. We have enough, software going with us. We have also, I think, we will also find out what to do with the hardware deficiency and so on and so forth.
Ms. Amna Malik, President COPAIR, talk about the national security policy, emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, Pakistan foreign policy and people-to-people's contacts. President COPAIR said that today's webinar is dedicated to September 6, 2020 Pakistan Defense Day.
Today we conducted this webinar keeping in mind the 6th September and what our worthy armed forces did for Pakistan. We are thankful for Pakistan Army and we are thankful for Feroz Khan Sahab for your valuable research work. And inshallah we are going to share this on live on Facebook and COPAIR and our other YouTube channel and other media houses, because this is something which is very informative. And also the students who are studying international affairs, international relations, they should know about it. So inshallah we spread your message everywhere.
Pakistan has a sense of urgency when it comes to neutralizing the impact of India's modernization by developing its own capabilities and maintaining what it considers a rough strategic balance.